Possible weather threat this weekend. We could see some severe storms. We'll talk more about Sunday and into Monday and what we're currently tracking.
Live on your side. First Alert Weather Extra starts right now.
And we are so glad you're with us here for First Alert Weather Extra. Beautiful day out there, but pollen's it's here.
Oh yeah, it's here. Still
Yeah.
coating the cars. I see it all over. It's nothing to play with.
No, allergy season is in full swing. Spring is in full swing. We had some low 80s today, and as you know, you were talking about some good kite flying weather today. It was windy out there.
It was.
Yeah.
It was perfect kite flying weather. I wish I had a kite.
Well, that's March, March in Alabama. This is what we call kite flying season around here. But it looks like the winds are going to back off tomorrow out of the northwest. It will be a calmer day. We've had an increased pressure gradient today, so that caused those winds to pick up and also made for some warmer conditions. We had 83 in Tuscaloosa. I noticed our weather watcher checking in. Let's talk about those headlines. I know it was warm today, but we're going to see some upper 40s out there tonight for overnight lows. So plan for a chilly start tomorrow, a warm afternoon on the way. It will be dry for the next couple of days. I think we could be as low as 48 tomorrow morning. Next rain chance coming up on Saturday, scattered showers and storms, and some of those by Sunday night could be severe. We still have some time to watch this. We're keeping a close eye on Saturday. Looks like some scattered storms, but nothing really severe Saturday. It's Sunday night, much like this last setup we just had this past Sunday night. A line of storms moves in. Some of those could bring some gusty winds and a severe risk. So we'll be keeping a watch on that. Right now we're at 77. Latest update coming in. The current temperature with sunshine. Notice as we go to 8 o'clock, we're in the 60s. By 10 o'clock, 61. And overnight went with those lows down into the 40s, a clear sky for tonight. So we will have some very dry conditions. Of course, with it being so dry, we're talking about the pollen. The tree pollen levels are in the high category, weed and grass pollen in the moderate range, mold spores on the low end of the scale, but it is allergy season and it has really kicked in out there, and that is going to be a big concern for us here next few days. So it's not just one car wash. You're probably going to need 2 or 3 car washes by the weekend. Severe threat this weekend. What we are seeing, this is the latest outlook showing wind shear and instability. We have a cold front that's going to move in. Notice this is last day of the month. This is early Monday, showing early morning hours. We're seeing some of that wind shear, wind energy instability moving through the region here during the overnight with that front and a line of storms. So we can't rule out a severe storm with some gusty winds. Notice that will fade there through the morning hours, but we need to watch it overnight for the possibility of some severe storms and again an isolated tornado threat. We still have plenty of time to watch this. This could change a lot, but we want to make sure you have the first alert. And tonight with the dry weather conditions, perfect weather, which a game that's already happening right now. UAB Jacksonville State baseball, that's at Young Memorial Stadium in Birmingham. You can see by 8 o'clock they're down to 67 degrees, but whatever plans you have for tonight, we've got some nice conditions. But coming up, we've got some Alabama baseball later this week. Alabama versus Oklahoma on Friday. Notice there by Friday evening some clouds move in, but I still think dry weather will be the story there. Temperatures by 8 o'clock cooling off into the 60s. But a lot happening for the upcoming weekend. Of course, we're going to talk a lot more about those rain chances for Saturday and Sunday with the Weather Extra.
Thanks, Wes. Well, Wes, you mentioned baseball, but hey, maybe people are going to be at home and want to do some chilling and grilling this evening. Perfect evening for that as well. Grab out the hot dogs, the hamburgers. It's a good time for your kiddos to run around outdoors and play while dad's on the grill or mom. But here we are looking at that grilling forecast. Temperatures for this evening look great, like Wes was mentioning. We're going to have mainly clear night skies to clear skies tonight, lighter winds tonight as well, so it won't be as windy. So hey, if you're grilling, let us know so we can pull up. But speaking of enjoying a good meal, learning is a full bloom at 8 Birmingham City schools who are now equipped with hydroponic labs. We first brought you this story last week, and now your Sarah Verser takes a closer look at how leaders believe this will bring new possibilities, preparing students for a crop of success.
As I envision our students coming in and harvesting and learning how all of this works.
April Muhammad can hardly contain her excitement over the new hydroponics lab at Minor Elementary School. Muhammad is the food educator and says her job just got easier.
Food Corps, basically we teach the power of food, from how it grows, how it nurtures our body, and how we cook it, how we prepare it. So it's a whole foods kind of thing, and it's the power of food. That's what I tell the students.
But this is all about growing plants in water and indoors so you can control the conditions regardless of the weather. A team from New York-based nonprofit New York Sun Works installed the system in partnership with the Jones Valley Teaching Farm. There are tomato plants in buckets and leafy greens sprouting on tables and out of towers.
Each system is best suited to grow different things. In here we've got lettuce and dill. So generally you want to grow herbs and leafy greens in this system.
And you can hear the calming sound of the water flowing through them all. It's not just here at Minor, but there are labs in all 8 schools leading up to the feeder path to Jackson Olin High School, which already has the Agriculture Academy.
So we use the engagement tool that food is as a way to teach math and science and social studies and to work with Birmingham City Schools through the Alabama course of study. So we know that that's important, but we also know that when we connect young people to their food source, they have a skill for the rest of their lives.
So this is to whet the appetite, so to speak, get them on that path to the Horticulture Academy?
Absolutely. As well as culinary arts, because you have to think about there's crossover. You can, when you harvest this, you can send that to the culinary classroom and they can make that into some delicious meals.
April Muhammad already has plans for her students.
They're excited about that, but we're going to harvest and let them take it home, send menus and recipes, and do a lot of parent engagement. So that's what we're looking forward to.
Sarah Verser, WBRC Fox 6 News, on your side.
Oh, love that. And we love growth and success for everyone. So maybe you want to have some things growing in your yard very soon. Maybe you need to work on it. Here's a look at that gardening forecast, that yard work forecast, giving you the green check light now through Friday to get out there and get your yards together. But maybe you're still trying to hold back in case we have any more frost or freezes, and that's a good idea for those of you who are extra cautious. I say if you are going to plant those less sensitive crops, okay? I'm not a gardener, but that's just my advice. Now, Saturday, we're tracking some rain and maybe a few isolated storms, so with the ground being a little more soggy, I say hold off for the weekend, but you do have plenty of time between now and Friday to get those gardens nice and ready, or at least started, I should say. But let's talk about this now, because across America, we're preparing to potentially see stormy conditions in Seattle, Washington, and the Oregon area. A severe weather threat is ramping up across parts of the Pacific Northwest, which is nearly unheard of for the area. Places from Portland, Oregon to Vancouver, Canada could see large hail, damaging winds, and the possibility of an isolated tornado. But the main threat will come from those strong winds and the hail. Well, coming up in 30 seconds, we're going to talk about that out-the-door forecast for your Wednesday and take you to places who are battling wildfires, not just across the country, but around the world. We'll be right back.
And welcome back into Weather Extra. Let's get you ready for Wednesday. We have dry weather, temperatures topping out in the 70s, but it's going to be chilly tomorrow morning. Went with a low of 48 degrees out there, so a cold start early in the day, and then we'll see those afternoon highs rebound. That's the setup with it being so dry. You're going to see a big drop in the morning and a big warm up during the afternoon. But hey, this is spring in Alabama. enjoy it because you know how it goes around here. Suddenly we're starting to warm up into the upper 80s and then it starts getting really hot. But we do have some nice seasonal conditions here coming up, but very dry. Allergy sufferers, yes, pollen levels will stay in the extreme category. I do want to show you quickly here the wind speeds tomorrow. You can see those will back off out of the northwest at about 5 to 10, so it won't be as gusty tomorrow, but it was windy today, windy tomorrow, and I just want to stress how quickly, when you have windy conditions like this, dry conditions, it does not take long for us to really dry out. So that fire danger, it won't take long for that to increase over the next couple days. I just want to show you, you can look at how the wind direction has changed here across the region, and as we look at the setup through Wednesday, the wind will be out of the northwest, so if there are any prescribed burns happening to the north, we'll see that transported back off to the south and east direction. But notice also it is so dry at the moment, those dew points have really backed off. We're now seeing dew points down into the 30s, so during the day the relative humidity really drops off, but we do see that humidity jump up at night, but during the day relative humidity stays rather low. But just want to share some of these fire weather conditions with you as the burn ban is now lifted across the city of Anniston. Fire Marshal Brown saying that the precaution for the initial ban was due to those dry weather conditions, but he still stresses, though the ban has been lifted, you still need to be extremely careful when burning outdoors. If you remember, nearly hundreds of acres burned in Calhoun County over the last month. And if we take a look at the current wildfire map in Alabama, there's only a few controlled burns across the southern part of the state. This map, as with over the next few days, I'm sure we'll probably see some more activity popping up here. But as with the conditions that we have right now, and as we've been hearing from officials over the next few days, of course, be extremely cautious out there with these dry conditions. We'll talk more about weekend rain chances coming up. Tania.
Thanks, Wes. Well, we want to take you back to the Carolinas now as they continue to fight 3 large fires in that area. Officials saying it's still a challenge to get them contained. And Justin Berger has more on this.
This is hazard mitigation on Green River Cove Road. They're cutting snags. In plain English, removing old dead trees before a burnout operation so flying embers can't cross their fire lines. A few miles east,
it's just a few hundred yards off.
Esther Albert sprays down her Holbert Cove Road short-term rental. She's already moved the leaves away from the home.
The hope is that we, eliminate as much of the fuel for the fire as possible, and that hopefully it doesn't take the buildings. You becomes a part of you. Even when it's a business, you grow to love a space.
A short hike behind her house, fire crews put in dozer lines just minutes before we arrived. Charred and still smoldering fuel nearby, evidence of the expansive Deep Woods fire along Holbert Cove Road.
Is everyone helping everyone else? What else can we do? If we can keep the fire at bay, it helps everyone else around us as well.
And taking you around the world now to Chile, where a red alert is in effect for wildfires across the southern area. Evacuation alerts have been activated, and there are nearly 100 people sheltered. The president reporting that there are currently 27 active fires, with 34 controlled and 1 extinguished. And check this out, taking you beyond the atmosphere, NASA capturing an image of what's being nicknamed the cosmic tornado because of its spiral appearance. Oh, that's kind of cool. They are outflows produced by jets launched from a nearby forming star. The outflows can extend for light years, which create shock waves. And a stunning sight captured across much of Eastern Europe last night, and its cause? A SpaceX rocket. The Falcon 9 rocket carrying a classified U.S. government payload launched Monday from Cape Canaveral in Florida. The United Kingdom's National Meteorological Service explained the display on social media, saying the spiral was likely formed by the rocket's exhaust interacting with the atmosphere. Pretty cool.
Yeah, don't go anywhere. We talk about that next chance for rain and share some of your weather photos. How about this lovely photo? Man, ready for a trip? Yeah, if you have any vacation plans, we'll talk about the beach forecast as well. We'll see you after the break. Stay with us.
Man, what? Me too. Let me go check on this the Barron lady. Man, there's so much going on.
And welcome back into Weather Extra. Lovely view from Bluff Park Diner here at 76 degrees. And if you capture a lovely sunset photo, you got to share that with us on the First Alert Weather app. We'd love to see it and share it right here on Weather Extra. Gulf Shores right now, a live look along the coast. If you're heading down, have a beach trip planned. Looks like some nice weather coming up over the next few days. Saturday, however, scattered storms and showers will be possible. Not a total washout Saturday, but that rain chance will come back. And then Sunday night and into Monday, the chance for storms. Looks like the greatest severe risk may actually stay north of the Gulf Coast there Sunday night and into Monday, and it will be quite windy into the middle of next week with highs in the 70s. But if you are heading down for spring break, make sure you have the First Alert Weather app so you get those alerts wherever you go. Tonight's overnight lows down into the 40s. I went with 48 for an average low. You can see some 50s further south. Maybe a few clouds around early in the day, but the rest of the day looks incredible tomorrow. We've got some beautiful weather tomorrow. Same goes for Thursday. Friday looks like a great day, so just wonderful weather. And the winds tomorrow not as gusty. It will be much calmer early in the day. Notice Thursday morning we have 40s, afternoon highs back into the 70s with lots of sunshine. The next big thing will be a chance of showers coming back Saturday and even the possibility of an isolated storm. I know the team's been talking about that possibility Saturday. It's not an all-day washout for Saturday for us, but there might be some lightning alerts out there. Not a major severe risk, but Saturday's a day the atmosphere is kind of getting primed in for that next system that will bring a line of storms and showers through here late Sunday night and into Monday morning. And right along that line could have some strong to severe storms with gusty winds, some hail producers, and we'll need to keep an eye out for a tornado threat. Again, this could change a lot over the next few days, but the possibility is there. So we're watching for that system. Again, this would be late Sunday night into Monday morning. We're just going to make sure you have the first alert, and you can see right there for the Sunday night storms, I highlighted where I think the greatest severe risk will set up, especially for areas northwest. And as that moves further south, that risk should lessen some into the early morning as the instability backs off. But bringing in those alerts for Sunday into Monday for that system. In the meantime, again, we have some nice weather. I mentioned the pollen levels will be very high, very dry by Friday, up to 80 degrees. Overnight lows will improve quite a bit. Notice by the weekend Saturday, we have lows around 59, highs in the 70s, lots of clouds, and a chance for some scattered showers and storms during the day. And then Sunday night into Monday, rain comes back. Tuesday, we bring in April with 70 degrees and a partly cloudy sky. And the first few days of the new month, looks like maybe by Thursday and Friday and next week, a few April showers could enter the forecast. But at this point, we're not seeing any significant risk for any stormy weather, and no frost or freezing temperatures showing up on that 10-day forecast. As part of the state continues to clean up from those devastating storms just a couple of weeks ago, the Chilton County Commissioners are meeting now to vote on a resolution that will declare a disaster and allow them to start removing storm debris. Your Shelby County reporter Ajane Robinson joins us on how that all will work.
Now, if you need help removing debris around your home, you can fill out a request form on the County Commission's website.
On that form, you can leave your name, address, a phone number, and debris pickup. So that's the way we'll plan to have this scheduled for, for the debris cleanup.
Commissioner Alan Williams says their service is for anyone along County Roads 15, 16, 76, and other areas hit the hardest. Neighbors like Justin Wilson's property took a direct hit.
And this is what we came home to, the house on top of the barn. We'll start to get everything cleaned up, and then we will decide what's next.
Chilton County EMA also shared the request form on Facebook, saying they want to know what people still need after last weekend's storm.
I'd like to know if anybody is having a problem with it, because, if they're in a need, we need to do something about it.
Now, Williams says Shelby County is pitching in by providing a landfill for construction debris, along with equipment to help speed up the process.
Great information there. Here we are looking at that Climate Prediction Center outlook showing our temperatures and what we can expect for the first couple of days of April. Can you believe April's already here? This year is really flying by. April 2nd through April 8th. We're getting close to the month. We still have only a few days left of the month of March, but hey, we know it's spring. What can you expect though as we bring in the spring days of April? Well, much of the U.S. dealing with above average temperatures, so I'm expecting it to be warming up here very quickly, and this week can sure attest to how fast it warms up across central Alabama. Precipitation outlook, we're showing above average temperatures for much of the northern portions of the U.S., and it looks like the northern portions of our state could see above average precipitation, rainfall, and it looks like down at the coast more below average and then more near average for our central counties across much of central Alabama, I would say. But that's a look at our beyond the 7-day forecast. Again, things are always changing when we take you beyond the 7-day. We'll talk more though throughout the rest of the week and on Weather Extra later this week about whether you can expect any more freezes. So continue to tune in. Otherwise, we'll catch you right here after the break. All right, check out this beach photo, but of the storm clouds yesterday. Linwood Murray out at Orange Beach, and that is a cool picture.
Yeah, mean looking shelf cloud with those storms that moved south. Daryl and Dunn sharing this lightning in the Bankston area from the storm Sunday night.
And then we have more photos to come. This one, Brianna Davis. Oh, look at those clouds, Wes.
Yeah.
She's calling them street clouds.
Yeah, that's called cloud streets when you see them lined up like that. A cloud formation there. And Brandon still sharing this lovely sunset in Oxford. And everything, just you look 1 minute, Tania, and it's the middle of winter. The next minute, everything's all bloomed and trees waking up out there. I know. And with this warmer weather, I know a lot of us are probably wanting to, get out on the water and do a little fishing. And I was out at Veterans Park earlier today, just getting a little walk in, and I noticed that some folks were out fishing, and it was windy out there today, but the winds will be quite gusty. But moving ahead, next few days looks dry. We're still watching this weekend. Still some time to watch what happens there Sunday.
Yeah, absolutely. As of right now, Sunday, much of the daylight hours, we might catch a break.
Right.
So hopefully it stays that way. But of course, we'll continue to give you updates and keep you informed throughout the rest of this week. And we'll have updates tonight.
Yeah, we'll see you tonight, first at 9. Have a wonderful evening. We'll see you later this evening right here on WBRC.
Hey, if you're grilling, no. I don't know. She said a couple seconds. I was like, well. Oh boy. All right, let's get it. Let's get it. In 3, 2. Hey there, everyone. First Alert meteorologist Tania Michelle here. Take a look at that 10-day forecast. Still looking great as we head into the end of your work week, at least through Friday. The weekend, though, well, things start to shake up for us. We could see some scattered showers, maybe an isolated storm in the forecast Saturday. More on and off rain chances throughout the day, but it looks like much of your Sunday will be dry, at least the daylight hours, with rain and storms moving in late, overnight, and impacting your early Monday morning. There could be a severe storm, so make sure you're checking in for updates, especially if you have plans for the weekend. We want to make sure you are well informed and safe. Of course, we're in that spring season, so we can't rule out when we see that chance for strong or severe storms. We have to make sure we're well informed and prepared for that. The good news is for the weekend, temperatures look great. Overnight lows in the 60s, highs in the 70s and low 80s. Sunday looks like the warmest day of the weekend, and Saturday we're seeing mid 70s for an afternoon high. Next week still pretty decent, still tracking 70s there, maybe a little cooler heading into early Tuesday morning with those low 40s, but you can always get more updates on the WBRC First Alert weather app.